Okay, I finished it up and I just connected the power back up. So we can see that immediately we are now drawing 680 megawatts just for the beacons that I put in. And our river of iron is a river indeed. So that's going to flow in and fill up all of our smelters. Very carefully did not start moving any modules around. I had a few modules available locally and those got inserted. So we're not going to be completely empty. Yeah, there's some productivity modules that got inserted over here. So now is the time when I go back and I look at, are my belts all set? This is something that gets easier with bots because you just have to make sure that all the machines are doing the right stuff. I should see a nice pattern of green lights and lit up smelters. And there we go. And in this case, these are already full, so they're no longer green, but they are showing the recipe. We'll have to repeat that check once we've got everything flowing to make sure that everybody is moving all of the stuff they're supposed to be moving. Let's check out the iron. Again, these guys are already saturated, and these guys are still saturating, and it looks like everybody's flowing. And let's look at our 10-minute productivity. So we can see we had an initial spike where the furnaces capped off, and now we've got steady state as the furnaces are have chunked through what was available, and now they are accepting the input at whatever rate, just kind of tossing it away. This will decline as furnaces fill themselves up. And I'm really not sure about how that must have been a spike as I turned on the power and everybody had everything ready to go. Still, that's pretty good considering that I am unbeaconed and, well, unmoduled. So theoretical throughput will be this times 16. So if I put express transport belts, this means that I'm getting 16 full belts out the other end once it's done modulating. So our next step here is to work on the petroleum products. That's sulfur and sulfuric acid and blue chips. And let's see, did I have a browser with that stuff in it? I did not. Let's start one. It's odd. It was on a completely different desktop. So, here's our planning. So at this point we have all of the oil stuff done, and we have the iron plate and we have the copper plate. So now we need to set up the sulfur, and the sulfuric acid. Oh, I didn't get coal for plastic. Well, let's do plastic second. Let's start off with sulfur and sulfuric acid then. So this is going to be easy because sulfur is a completely moduled chemical plant, single, and sulfuric acid is a single, completely moduled chemical plant. So basically it's going to be just like this, but with a different layout in the middle. So let's build up what it's going to end up looking like. There's that. Do these have productivity modules in them? These do not. I think I'm going to have to go back in and drop productivity modules in these guys once I get them. And the fact that it's not in there already means I messed up and didn't put it in the blueprint, and I should have. So this is going to be something I have to do by hand. There are 16 of these guys, so that's going to be a stack of productivity modules. That's going to be easy enough. Okay, so what is going on here? Why? Oh, right. Let's move these guys out of the way. Did I only have one of those? Oh, come on. Oh, somebody had some. So we are going to be baking sulfur and sulfuric acid. Like that. Now the sulfur is going to come out as a... it's going to come out as a solid. And I'm thinking that I can do direct insertion on this. So let me see if I move it to here and I move this guy to there. I really want to swap them so that the water is together. There. So we have a choice of sources of materials. And there. So each one of these has fewer sources, but we actually didn't need very much here. So this should be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is 10 sources per machine. Let me change that in the planning. So with the planning updated, 10 sources, this still is 6/10 of a machine and 3/10 of a machine. So we're still doing okay here. I'm going to move this to the left one. No, I'm not. Yeah, I'm going to move it to the left one to make it easier to bring the water in. Oh, come on. there's our water. And actually, if I move the whole thing up just a little bit, there. Now, these use such a small amount of inputs. I'm not too worried about. Okay, so this is going to require some iron plate in, and it does require stack inserters sending it out. So let's collapse these. The iron in is going to be interesting. I'm going to have to bring that in here, which means I need to bring that in there. There's our sulfuric acid output. And there's our iron in. Okay. So if we had this all moduled, I could get direct numbers, but I don't have it all moduled, so I will have to count on my spreadsheet, which is claiming that the sulfur requires a fairly small amount of water and petroleum, and the acid requires, let's see, 247 per minute, I believe. You know, I really do need to have enough modules on me that I can fill in something this size. So let's go back to town real quick. I also need to drop everything in town and refigure out what I want to carry with me. So I'm going to hit the pause button really quick, and I will be back with materials. Okay, we're back. So I went and picked up a whole bunch of stuff in the various Spidertrons, and they all have the same layout, so they've all got good chunks of material on them. And in the process, I forgot to actually pick up anything in my personal inventory. So let's do that real quick. Just like one stack of each thing would be good. One stack of each thing I need. There. So now I should be able to finish off some of this stuff. So among other things we brought back were a whole bunch of modules. Well, let's grab those as well. So I can module these guys. It's kind of tricky getting it in the middle somewhere. Can I get through here? Yeah, I can. There we go. So now if I look at this whole thing, this is now our complete throughput with everything completely moduled and beaconed. So 120k petroleum, and the rest of this is don't care because we only care about the petroleum coming out. That's a lot. Now this stuff, again, if we had, we're only doing one machine of sulfur. Actually, let's put some, there we go. So with this layout, we would really need to have 2 sulfur machines if we wanted to run the sulfuric acid at full tilt. But this is almost 22,000 sulfuric acid per minute, and we only need 3,000. So this is more than enough. However, we're not there yet because we still need to bring in some iron. Well, let's buffer up some sulfuric acid when we get there. And did I forget totally to bring in any pumps? I did. Okay, so yeah. That's interesting. So let's cut back on some quantities, but let's add pumps. Or we could just add pumps. I'm trying to set these up so that they are, in general, most useful for the long term, even if it means I have to go back now and then because I'm carrying too many other things to carry enough of what I need today. But that'll set that up. I could probably make some pumps. In fact, I'm going to turn on Handy Hands real quick, and I'm going to allow it to okay, come on. Default autocraft size to 1 stack, and pipe to ground. Delete. Okay. So now if we have materials, we will be building anything that's set up for Handy Hands. And I don't believe I'm carrying any steel on me. In fact, no. So let's actually set these up so I always have a little bit of materials to build stuff. And just to make it real easy, let's put some intermediates up as well. Come on, red chips and engine units. So with that, I should be able to build just about anything I need. Not right now, but soon. So this is going to require some iron coming in. It doesn't require a lot. In fact, it's like 50 per minute. So, you know, 1 miner and 1, you know, well, 50 per minute. Yeah, let's go do that. So we're going to need to run power out there and a miner. So here's power here, and just run it straight out. That was the wrong one. Okay, so yeah, this is going to put a bunch of modules in. That's all right. If I put the power out here, I won't have to worry too much about the belts there. So snap to grid, relative. And it's going to be 30, and I'll put another 30 there, so that if I do drag it up and down, it's a full grid. Clearly, I am not allowing this to build as I go. So I had these set for enable logistics while moving. Apparently that doesn't enable robots to build while moving. Also, I didn't bring along miners in my own inventory, but I do believe I have some here. Yes, I do. Bring some of those and some of those. We are going to go ahead and beacon and module the heck out of this just for fun. There. So we're going to start off with him, and he's got that. And yes, I'm going to do this with bots. Did somebody have yellow and... We're going to need, let's see, yellow, red, and blue. So, where did they go? Yellow, red, and blue. Put those there first. Now, I'm not sure why this shows no power. Oh, right. Because there is no power. So let's run back and make sure the power is set up on these guys. Just have to pause now and then. Yeah, I could probably do this faster just running. Yep. Just like that. And I am such an idiot. If I want iron, I've got it all here. What am I thinking? Oh, anyway. It would be nice would be if I could tell the Spidertrons to follow me. Can I? If I hold this, I say, oh, yes, there we go. So I have those 16 belts each of iron and copper, which will be feeding into great large arrays of green circuits and red circuits and blue circuits and modules of various sorts. Well, not the modules, they don't get it directly. But I think for the small stuff I can just use local robots. So the question is, how big do I want my logistics center? Not very big. Oh, this can be... We can start pruning this back now. These center points are where we have roboports. And I can start killing off great gobs of stuff like this. And this is going to kill the power to these guys. So I will need to keep, say, these and these. There. So we need at least some of these materials coming down to where they can be put inside the logistics center. And clearly I am going to lose all my modules if I keep doing this. Let's start off. If we go here, just to set up a starter point. And I'm going to require some bots. There. We will add a lot more logistics bots later. And this only requires... Come on. Stop following me. Here. So he's going to request just what I need here, which is iron plate. So that's 50 plate per minute, which is trivial. I will just bring down one line. How big do I want to make this? Logistics? Yeah, let's actually make logistics. So, how do I want to do this? If we place power here, yeah, I can shift to using these guys, and that actually covers all of my power needs. Or it would if my stuff was in range. There. Okay, so now we use snap to grid relative, and these are 18 wide grids. let's see, where is my substations? Let's grab substations from these guys. There. This will get us an area that has power. And let's build out a grid for robots that is denser than the default grid, which means I want to put it kind of at this halfway point here. If I mark it with this guy, there. Oh, that does mean that we will need someplace to put random things. So this, let's segregate this. Let's put wood in there and stone in here. Coal in there. And we'll have a couple extra boxes for stuff that's otherwise. So that's our distance for half a roboport. I found that if you make the roboports exactly so that they just barely overlap, you end up having problems later on when you don't actually have a place to put them. You have to be off by one, you end up with a divot between. So now we need a place to have iron coming in. Let's put it off in this corner here. Let's say 3 of those guys on each side. Like that. There. And we can actually pull up everything except the radar here because he will now be powered. He can actually go anywhere in that cell at some point. So if this gets iron, let's limit these to, say, 5 stacks each, which will be a very large buffer. Okay. And we'll just use the first iron line . And that used up all of the blue belt that I had on me. Do my robot buddies have more? Yes, they do. So if all we were using this iron for was just this one thing, I would just bring it down and put it in. But we're going to be requiring iron for several other things here, which are of modest quantity. No, we won't. The rest of the iron all goes to electronic circuits. What am I thinking? Let's not make this any more complicated than it needs to be. There we go. Okay, there's handy hands triggering off. So this should be pulling in all of the iron. Why isn't it? There we go. So we're still not using any actual logistics in this. It is quite possible that I will pull up the logistics network. And we don't have pumps. Okay, I'm going to pause for a second here while things stabilize. I'll go pick up some pumps and we'll be back shortly. Okay, bit of a jump cut. We are up here at the nuclear power plant because I goofed. I neglected to actually plumb iron plate, which we need in the train, into the station over here. And when I severed my uranium processing logistics from the main bus, we stopped getting iron. So at some point in the last few hours, we ran off the end of our iron. I fixed that now, but in the process of bringing back up the power plant, I realized that these solar panels, while they can run things up here, if we are connected to the main base, they can't. So I've reworked our power. So it looks like this. Solar power comes in along the railroad tracks and powers my service bay here, so we can continue to make our fuel. Separately, our power plant outputs here. Now we do have this roboport being on the main base power, which could be a problem. If I put one in here, that is on power from both of them. And if our main base power goes out, we still have both of these, so we'll still be able to fuel. The second thing I did, because I noticed this when we lost power, was that we had run completely out of fuel. So we now have a speaker which is programmed to make a siren if we don't have uranium fuel cells. And I've hooked up all of our requesters here, so if the total amount in the requester chest falls below 50, then this alarm will ring. And it sounds like this. Whoops, not like that, like this. There. So you'll hear that, and it will put an icon down here showing the power, and I'll know to come up here and figure out whatever is wrong with the power station. So at this point, our power is simplified slightly. I need to plug that back in. Did I get the right one? No, I did. Ah, I blew it. Okay. So that's R and L and center. I'm center. There. So now we have 2 power paths heading back down, and we should be running. Back over here we have the pumps, which we came up to get originally, and there's 2 more of these. So let's head back down. Why is that one racing ahead? Hold on. I got in the right one, not the wrong one, but they're still following properly. There. So now we can go continue the build. So I've got all this set up now. Why aren't these building? Well, probably because I have all of my inserters pointed the wrong way. The things you don't find out until you actually let it rip. So how are we doing here? Fluids. Production rate for sulfuric acid. We're running about 12K sulfuric acid per minute, and our requirement is 3K. So yeah, that that is a overkill build for sulfuric acid. And there we go. So the next thing is plastic. In fact, let's bump these off as I finish them. I've done sulfur, I've done sulfuric acid, I've done copper, copper plate. I can't shift click on those. I need coal in order to do plastic. So the question is, did I bring stuff for mining? The answer to that is probably not enough stuff for mining. Yeah, basically I probably have 150 in each of the Spidertrons, so that's 3,600 total. What I need in the way of capacity from coal is, I only need 38 mining drills if they've got 4 speed beacons around them. Oh, and the other thing I forgot, this is not the corrected thing yet, is that for my mining I used speed letter. So let's drop in and look at this. Yes, speed modules and speed modules all around. So instead of thinking in terms of number of miners, the capacity we want to look at is how much coal. And this is 1.1 blue belts, or about 3,000 coal per minute. And our coal source was right there to the left. I forgot about that. And blue mining is the thing. So this will turn out a blue belt. I'll need basically two this size. And that should do it right there. So it looks like this is all set up, and once we get power here, this is going to turn out two huge belts of coal, and we can bring power in anywhere we want. I'm probably going to be putting plastic in the middle. I will power this once I've built the plastic. Oh, come on, there we go. So none of this was really necessary. I'll power him back up later. None of this was necessary. In fact, let's kill all of this off. I do need there. Okay, so that powers the whole thing. Let's pick this stuff up and toss it in Robotrons and such. Spidertrons. So these two Spidertrons are over full. There. I think that picked everybody up. Okay, these robots are going to head over to that roboport. That's fine. Oh, I was going to see about continuing the teardown process. So the trick was that my roboports were not actually powered, because I cut some power that I shouldn't have. So we're going to get that back. There. So I believe that powers up all of the roboports. And now I want to start. Actually, let's plan this out properly. When I clip off the end here, these guys will still be available. I'm going to go ahead and clip this part out of the middle. Okay, I can see this is going to be a little difficult. So let's start by actually being out here so I can see what's going on. Okay. So with everything to the right killed off, we can see that these roboports are probably within build range of those. So I'm going to go ahead and clip back to here. Yeah, this is going to be some in-game time to do this, so I'll speed things up. And once that's done, we can clip back to here. Actually, no, I don't even need myself out here. I can just do it this way. And we can clip back to here. And I am going to get myself some visibility. I hate having all this stuff left out like that. And it looks like there. Come on, you go there. Actually, we're just going to bring it all the way back, and I will let my Spidertrons deal with it. Oh no, that worked really well. What's going on down here? Was that marked for deletion? Yeah, it was. So there's some things that can't be dropped off. That's fine. It's like there's a number of things that can't be dropped off. Can we put more down? Yes, we can. And if we kill this, and can we put more? Okay, so this is a little weird. What are these guys trying to drop off? Are they just trying to charge? Do I have any purples on me? Nope. Yes, I do. Okay. Where'd my other spider trying to go? Well, any case, I need to find my remotes. Yeah, that's the problem with dropping things in mass, is my remotes are here somewhere. Maybe I can have a robot bring them to me? So if our problem is charging, that'll fix it. Okay. Did I get my remotes back? No, I did not. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, too many solar panels. So those get tossed. And too many accumulators. So those get tossed. my remotes. Handy hands, go away. And everybody needs to recharge. Okay, now turn this on. So anyway, that did get rid of our solar panels. And these guys are overloaded now. So we are going to turn off that. I need boxes. So we're going to turn on Handy Hands now. Hopefully it'll make us some boxes. Hello? I guess not. Okay. Back to working out this inventory problem. So these are my personal inventory down here. Meanwhile, let's get him moved out of there. So that's everything that he wants. Let's put it in order. And same thing with him. And same thing with him. And now my stuff. So I'm going to leave Handy Hands off. I'm going to run my stuff back through this area again. I'm going to go ahead and leave this set up. Okay, so what I really want this to look like is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And I do not want these robot. I don't want the Spidertrons taking part of this next bit. Oh, I'll just send them off. Need my remotes. Okay. Get me my stuff. Hello? Oh, those are beyond range. Right. There. So they're out of range. They won't be picking up on any of this stuff. I have my roboports off, so I won't be picking it up. And now I can kill that. Why is it giving it to me? I have to go through this process again. Okay. There. Now we're safe. Okay. So now I only have the stuff I requested. And my Spidertrons should come back and be happy. And yeah, so there's a few things where they don't have the amount they wanted, but that's okay. We've been doing some building. And we actually could kill off that. And this. So, let's see, I only have 15 logistics robots, and I want to have a whole stack. Let's just steal all the robots from here. Okay, so inside here, there. So 100 of each, well, less than 100, right? That's good. That's good, right? Right. And if we come back here, we can collect more of those guys. I've decided that I'm going to just put down one roboport. There. So that's enough to manage our spare inventory. was the wrong one. So where were we? I was trying to clear up things and get ready to make plastic. We have coal to the left of us, and we want to bring plastic out here. And what did I say that we needed for plastic? We want to build a total of 7.4K plastic, which is going to be 2.8 belts out of, say, 19. Let's make 20 machines that are fully moduled and do it all using the bots. We were going to do bot based, so let's do bot based. So what does this look like? Where is a chem plant? One chem plant in the middle of all of this. If we place these in rows, we can stripe oil and such through. So we need petroleum here, and we'll need coal, and we'll need plastic output. Well, the coal and the plastic are going to be requested. Well, the coal is going to be requested, and the plastic is going to be provided. Okay. And we are going to limit ourselves to 2 stacks. And this is going to take... Don't I have any? Do I have no productivity modules? I have no productivity modules. Pausing a second. And I've been on mute all this time. Sorry, I had a cat on my lap. So I've confirmed that one chem lab can actually produce about 1,000 plastic per minute. And that was the correction you saw go in on my calculator, was that I had 8 speed modules. I'm actually using 12. So this is still, I'm still getting a lot more throughput based on max rate calculator than I am seeing here in the Factorio calculator. So we're just going to go with it. I'm going to go ahead and put up a 4x4 grid of these machines. Move him off screen. And that grid will be aligned properly. I believe I already set this up here. Yes, I did. Close enough. It may not be perfect. Yeah, in fact, it's off by 1. That's all right. Oh, come on. There we go. So hit Alt, copy this, 2, 3, 4. Whoops. And I can't move now. There we go. Two, 3, and 4. Spread these Spidertrons out a little bit. So each time I go back to base, I get a few more modules. It looks like I had enough speed modules to completely populate this. So the whole grid is going to turn out 16K plastic per minute. And what I need for my modules is 7K. So we're running still at about twice our required rate. This is not bad. If it turns out I can support more modules, then I will. So now I just need to hook up these guys. Now I don't know what else I'm going to be doing with my petroleum. But I do know that I don't want to be bringing it through the middle of this. Well, I can bring it through like this. Not really in the middle of it, not really. And this is good enough. Okay, there's 2. If only I had iron being pulled in. Now these are going to be huge amounts of iron. I'm wondering if maybe it would be better if I brought the iron in vertically on a blue belt. How many blue belts of iron is this array going to require? Well, let's look. In terms of express transport belts, it's plastic. It requires coal, not iron. But yes, I could bring the coal in on belts, on 4 belts. And I have 2 belts being produced by my mine. That's not enough for this grid. It is enough for my eventual needs, so I will belt it in and just let it flow. Which means that this design needs to change. So we need to remove the boxes, red and blue, and the inserters. So I'm going to need to have starting here like that, I think. That allows me to have an output box here. Actually, let's put the output box down here so I can see it. 2 stacks of plastic. We're going to insist on draining those quickly, and there we go. So we'll take this and make a blueprint of it. Snap to grid, relative, and we need to subtract 3 from each side, so this is a 9 by 9 repeating grid. And now I can just go in here and say boom, boom. There we go. So we're going to end up with 2 lanes of coal coming in from the left, and we're going to share them out. Okay, these 2 lanes have to come over. There we go. Now I could rejigger this to put out more coal and actually satisfy this guy, but I don't think it's worth it. Does he have any blue belts? Yes, he does. Good. Power. Let's just run power. I can always make the power nicer later. And now I see that I didn't connect up enough power down low. So 1, 2, 3 over there. 1, 2, 3 over here. Boom and boom. So in theory, this actually outputs 2.4 belts onto my 1 belt. I am not sure why coal is producing faster. Kind of interesting. I could do a shorter array and have it fill up, but that's fine. That means that as I mine this stuff out, we will continue to get full rate. So now coal comes in, and I forgot to put in the inserters moving coal into the machines. So that's next. Interesting. You with the inserter. Snap, relative, 9, 9. Boom. So it's my belief that once this gets cranking, our plastic output will be limited by how much coal we've got coming in. What's going on here? Why is my coal not flowing? That's got some coal. Ah. Why? I don't get this. Oh, right, because I haven't plumbed up the rest of the oil. Her to her. Okay, so this guy needs to go to the top one, and this guy needs to go to the next one. Just gonna do that. I think everybody's moving. Let's take a look here. Oh, these are all inserters that have, yeah. So my choice of inserter was wrong. Let's take away the stack filter inserters and put in normal inserters there. There. And that should bump us up immediately to producing mass amounts of plastic. We need 7.4K. We're going to get significantly more than that if I did this right. Very briefly, we get more than that, and then our our outputs fill up very quickly here. So there's our plastic bars. So what do we have left? We need green chips, which have on-site copper coils. We need red chips, which use green chips and on-site copper coils. And we have blue chips, which require red and green and copper. And I'm wondering if I can do a grand build. Well, if I did that, if I did a grand build, which put them all together, that would preclude the full beaconing that I want to do. But if I make it linear, somewhat linear, I might still be able to get the 8-speed beacons per. It might be kind of tricky. Yeah, these aren't in any real sane order because we do need a lot more. We need each kind of chip. We don't need just blues. We need each kind of chip. So we'll just lay them out normally. And yeah, this is going to be a long line. Okay, so electronic circuits are going to require iron plate and copper cable, and the copper cable can pair with it. Now, this means that what I'm going to be doing is a slightly different build, but I'm still going to be aiming at 23,000 green chips per minute. So let's put a cut in and come back and start working on the green chip build, which I will put Uh, I'm going to drag lines of iron down to the left of the plastic array because it's going to be faster to move that much iron by belt. And we'll figure out how much when we get a chance. My intent is to layer the green chips into this area down here. So, save and a cut.